Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Shanika Marie, and we are back with another video. Yes, I know I'm a little late. Happy New Year to everyone. I have not uploaded a video since last year, so Happy New Year to you all. To be honest, I just been taking some time out this year to try to just figure out what I want this year to, well, not even what I want it to look like, but what God wants the year to look like for me. That's a word. And so that's what I've actually been doing. If I'm completely honest, y'all, at the beginning of the year, I don't know, I just was kind of, usually I'm a person that like makes vision boards and kind of knows what I want, but I don't know if it's because of COVID. I'm not sure if it's because, just the season that I'm in. Like, I didn't feel like making no vision board this year, y'all. And to be honest, I didn't even really know what I wanted my goals and stuff to be for this year. I was just like, you know what, kind of in this space where, you know what, God, whatever's going to happen is going to happen according to your plan, whether I make a vision board or not. So that's kind of where I've been. I have kind of gotten out of that little space now. I feel like I am having feel like I'm dreaming again. And to be honest, I ended up watching a video on, I think her name is Alexandria J, or anyway, I follow her on Instagram, but she made an amazing video talking about being disappointed with God and disappointed in yourself and disappointed, because things haven't worked out the way that you wanted them to. And just listening to her video, I didn't even know that was in a space of disappointment. I didn't know that I was in a space of, just like, God, what are you doing? Like, I had all of these plans and you kind of like, move them out the, not say move out the way, but put them on pause. But when is the play button going to be hit, But I was in that space, and I just believe that God allowed me to see that video for me to kind of understand where I am and understand why I've been feeling the way that I have been feeling. Not sure if you feel the same way. I don't even know why I'm even talking about it in this video, because this is not what this video is about, but maybe I was supposed to say that for you. And if so, leave me a comment. Tell me how you've been feeling since the beginning. Like, are you excited? Have you made a vision board? Tell me all that good stuff. Let's talk in my comments, okay? So, all right. So back to what this video is supposed to be about. Like, I know y'all can see. Let me straighten on my camera. I know y'all can see. My tree is still up. I have not had time to take it down. I'm definitely going to take it down this week because I'm sick of looking at it. But that's a little side note. Okay. So, this video, so you remember the last video that I put up, I kind of talked about God told me to quit my job, and y'all have been loving that video. That is a very popular video on my channel. If you have not checked out part 1, go back and check that out. This is actually going to be part 2 of God told me to quit my job, and I wanted to tell you, I know I kind of talked about, a few of the trials that I kind of went through and what that process and stuff looked like for me in the last video. But in this video, I wanted to talk about the miracles that I experienced to encourage someone who may be in this space, because God is a provider. He is a provider, y'all. And so I wanted to tell y'all some of my miracles that I experienced with God. And also just for me to come back and listen to this video, when I may be discouraged or I may be waiting on God, to remind myself like, hey, God is faithful. He has you. He's provided for you before, so he's going to provide for you again and again. A song my therapist told me to listen to at my last therapy session. She was just telling me to listen to, I think his name Anthony Murphy. Oh, I'm turning up his name. But anyway, his album is called The Pandemic Project. And it's these 2 songs I've been listening to every day. One is Something Good Is Going to Happen to Me. That's basically what the song is about. And then the next song after is called We Have History. And this is going to be my We Have History video, because just talking about the blessings that I experienced, and just encouraging myself, and also encouraging you too, if you may be in that season of God is telling you to quit your job and you don't know where the money's going to come from. You don't know what he's doing. I'm doing this to encourage you, sis, and also to encourage myself. So, all right, here we go. So, I got my little paper. If you see me, I'm a journaler. I love to journal. I journal every day. I write everything down. If I do not write it down, I'm going to forget. So, if you see me looking down, I'm actually looking at my notepad. So, where do I want to start? So, y'all... let's start off about the 2 times that I tried to play God in my life. Tried to basically help him out. But y'all know we can't help God out, right? Y'all know we cannot help God out. But okay, so one, I remember, okay, after a year of me, not working, my lease was coming up on my apartment. Like I was telling y'all before in the last video, I had my own apartment. All the bills that you can think about, I had them. And so rent was like my biggest bill. I'm gonna say my rent was $910 at that time. And so coming up to time for me to renew my lease, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna just go ahead and cancel this lease. I'm gonna move somewhere cheaper or move back with a family member. Like I had it all planned out in my head. And so, to be honest, I didn't even consult God with that. I just decided that I was moving out. And it came down to the day that I was actually going to turn that letter in. I remember a friend had told me, I don't know, he had just asked me at the time. He was like, did you ask God about that? Like, is that God's plan for you? And I was like, what you mean? It's smart. Like, I don't need to be in here if I ain't working. That's irresponsible. He was like, I really think that you need to pray about it and see what God says. And I remember, I was like, he don't know what he's talking about. Whatever. Kind of let it go over my head. But then I remember telling my grandma about it, and my aunt about that I was going to move out. And I remember them, I guess they had a conversation outside of me, and then they had the conversation with me. They was like, no, like, we really think you need to stay here, and we're going to help you. And so I'm just like, what? That does not make any sense. Like, no, I'm gonna make it easy on all of us. I'm just gonna move out into something more affordable. I'm gonna move with one of y'all. Like, we're gonna figure this out. But you know what? Didn't end up moving out. I didn't end up moving out, and guess what? As soon as I renewed my lease, God, he just kept providing. So sometimes in our head, we try to make sense for God or make things easier for God. But if he didn't tell you to do that, and if it didn't come from him, don't do it. Because guess what? I could have missed out on more miracles if I would have moved out when I thought it was time for me to move out, because I was trying to make things convenient for God. But guess what? You can't do that, y'all. Y'all can't make things convenient for God, because you never know what he wants to do in your life. You never know. So that was one of the times where I wanted to play God. But you know what? After I had that conversation with my grandma and my aunt, I basically went to God. I was like, hey, God, okay, what you want me to do? Like, do I stay? Do I go? And I just felt him saying, like, no, you need to stay, and I'm going to provide for you. That's what I did. And so I stayed 3 years on my own, no job, didn't lose a thing. Okay, that was the first one. Number 2, okay, y'all, another time that I tried to play God, I went and started working part-time at a nail salon. Now, I ain't never did nails before in my life, but they were willing to teach me, and they were all natural nail studios. So, for them to teach me, it wasn't hard. They just had a technique that, they taught or whatever. Started working there. I'm gonna say I stayed there for a month. Crazy thing is, I think I talked about this before on my channel, that I am an aspiring model. And so my ultimate dream is to be a full-time commercial model. I'm believing God is going to do that for me, that he's going to transition me into that season sometime soon, So I am signed to 2 different agencies. Soon as I got that job, y'all, I was like one of the agencies I'm signed to, they started sending out jobs like, hey, we're looking for like everything, like I fit everything. Like we're looking for a African American woman, black hair, between the ages of 20 and 30, like for all these different commercials, y'all. And guess what? I could not go. I could not submit myself because I was at work doing something that I knew I was not passionate about, doing something just for money. And it wasn't a lot of money, let me just say that. It was not a lot of money. But I felt like I needed to help God. And so I lied to you not, y'all. Like a lady came in there and she was getting her nails done. And she just happened to, I don't even know how we got on this subject. We were like talking. She was like, you know, like, how long have you been here? Have you always wanted to do nails? And I was like, oh, I've been here a month. And I was like, to be honest, no, I just kind of felt, you know, this is just where God has me right now. And I didn't even say that. I didn't say, well, this is where God has me. I was like, to be honest, you know, I'm just trying to figure things out right now. So I got a job here. And she was like, well, what's your dream? And I was like, my dream is to be like a model. Like I would love to do commercials and print and all of those things. And she was like, well, why are you here? And I'm like, what you mean why I'm here? I'm here doing your nails. Like, what you mean? And so she was like, why are you here? Like, you're not supposed to be here. This is not what you're supposed to be doing. And as soon as she said that, y'all, it was just like this heaviness fell on me. Like, she is so right. Like, this is not in the plan. not even in the plan, but this is not what God has for me. And as soon as she said it, I knew that God was using her. And guess what, y'all? Her husband was actually a model and working actor at the time. And she was just telling me, you know, different things that he was doing. And she was saying that, you know, he was still working. But when those opportunities come, he used to tell, like, his job actually understood, like, hey, I'm a working model and actress. When I got a job, I need to go. And so that encouraged me because for a long time, I felt like you couldn't do both. Like, I always felt like when opportunities came, just because I have, like, you know, not signed something, but I work here and I'm a person that I'm going to show up for work, you know, unless I'm sick or something like that. But I just felt like it was wrong to not show up, which is just ridiculous. But I know that I'm like a loyal employee, you know, so it was kind of hard for me to kind of ask off. First of all, I just started there. So how I'm going to be asking off to go, you know, chase my dream or do whatever. I didn't think they would would have understood. So I didn't say anything. But yeah, y'all, God sent that lady in there to tell me that this was not the path for me and that I needed to quit. And so I ended up quitting. I'm going to say I put my 2 weeks in. I left the right way. I put my 2 weeks in. And after that, ended up, I'm going to say, I don't know how long after that or whatever, but ended up getting this opportunity with this agency, another agency that I'm actually signed to. And I needed to take, not needed to take, but I wanted to take some fresh digitals and pictures and stuff to go on my comp card. And so of course it was a little investment, just investing in myself, just making sure that I'm getting the right photographer, just to make sure that I had images that were industry standard. And so, like I said, of course it costs money, and money that I didn't have. I already didn't have money to for my basic needs. So how in the world I'm up here trying to chase a dream and pay this money to get these comp cards done? But you know what? God is faithful. I remember asking God, like, Lord, like, is this the plan for me? Like, I got to pay this money that I don't have. Like, how am I going to do this? And I remember God woke me up in the middle of the night and he told me to write out, just basically type my story out on a Word document. And he actually told people, specifically told me the people who to give my letter to ask for donations to. And you know, I wrote those people down. I was like, man, this is so crazy. Like, why am I doing this? I'm asking for donations. Like, what in the world, you know? But it was another moment. I had to humble myself and do what God told me to do. So you know what? I got that letter. I sealed them up. The next Sunday at church, a lot of people that he put in my mind, I actually go to church with them. And so I gave them the letters. And y'all, when I tell you, and I'm gonna just only tell you one of the things that happened. I gave one of my letters to I go to a church called Christian Life, and everybody knows Miss Patricia. I love Miss Patricia. I don't know if she watches this video, but if you are watching, just know that I love you, and you don't even know what you did for my faith at this time. But she came up to me after church, so I think I had already gave her the letter. Did I? Yeah, I already gave her the letter, I think. Or maybe I told her about it. I'm not sure. Anyway, she came to me after church and she was like, you know, I got a sock ministry. And I was like, sock ministry? What you mean? She was like, I put money in a sock. Y'all, I'm trying not to cry. I put money in a sock, and I'll allow God to tell me who he wants me to give it to. And this is he was like, now I understand why he had me doing that. It was for you. And y'all, I did not open the sock while I was at church. I remember looking at it and I was like, oh my Lord, like how much is in here, you know? But when I got in my car, I told my fiance was actually, we went to church together, and I got in the car and I was like, oh my God, Miss Patricia just gave me a sock full of money. He was like, what you talking about? I pulled out the sock, y'all, and I wish I knew how to do this, but if you go on my Instagram, the picture is actually on there, but I wish I could learn. I'm going to learn how to insert pictures, but I actually took a picture. It was a knot full of 20s, and it was $600 in all 20s. And that was actually half of what I needed. When I tell y'all I cried, I bawled, because God is so faithful, and he knows the desires of my heart, just like he knows the desires of your heart. When he did that, I was like, okay, now I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I'm going to say that actually happened a couple of times. God used some people that I'm really close with to bless me, to help me to get my pictures done. Y'all, I got them done. They came out so good. I'm still in love with those pictures, but I just wanted to tell y'all that, to just tell you, God cares about your dreams. You know why? Because he put them there. He put those dreams inside of you. And I just want to encourage someone. Maybe you want to pursue makeup. Maybe you want to model too. Maybe you want to be an actor. I don't know what you want to do. Maybe you want to start a business. I'm not sure what you want to do, but God cares. And if you just pray to him and submit that thing and be like, God, you know, even if this doesn't happen, because I had to get to that point too, y'all. Like, even if this doesn't happen, you're still good. That means you have a better plan for me. I had to open my hands. And once I opened my hands and did exactly what he told me to do, God showed up so, just in a way that I can't wait to tell my kids and my kids about this moment. But it was just amazing. And I don't want this video to get too long, but last thing I wanted to tell y'all, it was time for me to move out. And to be honest, I think God was testing me during this time, because I'm not gonna say things were drying up, but they weren't coming in like they were at first. And so I actually started to be late on my rent. And when I tell y'all, whoo, it stung. Because I'm like, God, you told me to do this. How you going to make me late? And they charging all these fees. I don't even have the first rent. So how in the world am I going to pay these fees? And so this is all the stuff that I'm saying to God, like, yo, what is you doing? Like, I'm having to pay out extra money that I do not have. And so at the end of the month, I ended up owing my rent and some extra because of late fees. So I'm gonna say I had about, I'm gonna say my total was like $1,000 something. I'm not even sure. I can't even remember at this point. But I had made a partial payment. I didn't have all of it, but I wanted to, you know, just let them know that I was paying something. Like, hey, I'm trying. And I was just so discouraged in that season, y'all. I was so discouraged because I'm just like, oh, God, why you let me get to the end? And like, you know, it was actually time for me, like I said, time for me to move out. And I was moving to where I am now. And so I would just, when I tell you I was so discouraged, y'all, my fiance, he was like, we gonna get through it. I'm like, I don't know how because the money ain't here. Like, I was so discouraged, y'all. But, whew, God allowed. So, of course, you put down a security deposit before you move into places. I can't even remember. And I wish I would have wrote this down so I could tell y'all the dollar amount. Anyway, long story short, I went to the leasing office to tell them, like, hey, I am trying. I'm not working. Like, I'm going to pay y'all before I leave up out of here, though. Like, I ain't going to do y'all like that. And she was like, no, you're good. And she was like, you know what? Let me pull up your account information to actually see how much your security deposit is and if it will cover any of it or most of it. When I tell y'all my security deposit covered down to the cents, it was like God told me to pay exactly what I paid because I'm pretty sure he knew, but he knows everything. But it was down to the cent, y'all. To the cent. And it covered all the way down to the cent. And I remember my grandma was at my apartment. She was helping me clean up. And I came back and I was like, Grandma, it covered it. Like, whoo, try not to cry, y'all. Try not to cry. But I was like, it covered it. I don't have to pay anything else. And we was just praising God and, you know, just saying, thank you, Jesus, because God is so faithful, y'all. Can't nobody tell me that God isn't real, because if you heard any of these stories, you know he is real. Like, none of this stuff was in my hands. But I'm going to tell y'all what I learned in this season. God was teaching me in this season, it still is now, to humble myself and not be afraid to ask for help. I don't know why asking for help is like not a bad thing, but this thing that we don't want to do. It makes us feel like it's a weakness. But no, asking for help is actually a blessing. What if God is working on someone who you're asking, you know, helping them with trying to be more generous, or, you know, you just never know what God is doing in their life and what them helping you would actually do for their faith. So God taught me to humble myself and to ask for help. And also, this experience helped me to realize what faith really is. I couldn't see the end. I didn't know how I was going to pay my rent and my other bills every month, but that's what I just believed. I had to believe. And even in the times I lost my faith, God was still so merciful. And he still provided for me. Even though I was mad at him, half the time I didn't want to pray because my rent was late and I felt like he was being disrespectful. Y'all, I was going through it. But you know what? He still showed up, and it just showed me what having faith really was. Because to be honest, I ain't know what I would say I would have faith before, but I ain't had no faith. I ain't have it. And also, now that I have this YouTube channel, I realized that I had to go through that to help someone else. Like, the responses that I got on my last video, and I haven't even finished responding to all the comments that everybody has been saying, but I just know that I had to go through that because God wanted me to help you. Maybe it's you watching this video. I had to go through that. And I didn't understand, but now that I'm out of it, I understand. So you may be asking, okay, Shanika, where are you now? I'm still in it. Still trying to not even trying to figure out, but I'm still in that middle. Like, I haven't, I'm still pursuing modeling. Of course, things have slowed down because of COVID. And to be honest, you know, I kind of got discouraged with it because I'm just like, God, why hasn't it happened the way that I want it to happen? But no, to be honest, that was just a selfish statement from me, because God has definitely been blessing me with opportunities and opportunities but I guess I'm looking for the bigger opportunities. But guess what? I'm going to humble myself and enjoy these small opportunities, because I'm being faithful where I am. So I had to, snap myself back to reality, like to be thankful to be getting anything. So yeah, that's where I am now. Still, not even chasing my dream, but just allowing God to do what he does best. I actually work part-time. The job is amazing. I can't say that. I know that God has me there for a reason. I'm just thankful to be able to serve someone else. I'm not sure what my next steps are. I don't even know what this year is about to look like. But I'm just going to trust God, y'all. So that's where I am now. And I plan to do more videos just talking about my journey and updating you guys and all of the things. And if you would like for me to talk about a certain topic, let's just basically, what am I trying to say? Put it down in the comments. Let me know if you're in a season of God telling you to quit your job, or you want to quit your job. Like, what are those questions that you have? And I will be sure to answer them in my next video. I have some great content coming up in 2021. I'm really excited about 2021. Just going to allow God to do what he wants to do, and just open my hands and say, God, you know what? Use me. You know what I'm supposed to be doing. You know the path. You know everything. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Of course, give me a thumbs up so more people can know about this channel. And thank you guys so much for your support, and don't forget to subscribe. All right, y'all, see you in the next video. Peace.